Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for joining in. And now we're gonna go live with Georgia Wright. She's the author of Love Hearts. So we're gonna wait for her to join in. This is her book, by the way, in case you didn't know that. She wrote this book, and I hope you can see this book. And she's just 16-year old, and she wrote this whole book by herself. So we're gonna know more about her and her book when she joins in. I'm just gonna let her in.
Hey,
Hi. Hey. How are you?
I'm good. How are
I'm
you?
good. I'm good. Good evening, first of all. Thank you so much for doing
That's
this.
okay. Oh, what time is it for you? 4 o'clock?
Yeah, it's 4 p.m.
Oh, lucky.
So, can you please introduce yourself to the viewers?
Yeah, sure. So my name is Georgia Wright. I'm 16 years old. I live in Australia. I'm from Brisbane. And this is my book. It's called Love Hurts. I wrote it when I was 14 and I published it this year in April, I think, when I was 16. So, yeah.
Yeah, it's amazing how you are so young and you
Yeah.
achieved so much.
Oh, thank you.
So, can you share more about the book?
Yeah, sure. So it's pretty much a romance novel. It's also got like self-growth sort of storyline because it shows the tale of a girl. Her name is Maddie Garcia, and she sort of goes from rags to riches, moves in with a really rich family, and sort of finds herself along the way, like throughout the book, and falls in love, finds her first sort of boyfriend. Yeah. So I feel like romance is kind of like a good sort of start to a writing career because you like get to understand like emotional connections when you write, and then now I can sort of branch out to what I want to write about, which is more fantasy. So yeah.
So, how was the writing process like?
Um I originally started obviously when I think I was 13. I was in year 8 at school. So I had heaps of free time and I could just write like every day after school whenever I wanted. And so it was like really like easy at the start. But then towards the end, I started getting obviously more homework and um, all this commitment for like netball and then work. So I had like less time to focus on my writing. And so it became a chore for a little bit. But yeah, it was like, because writing's my passion, it's always been easy to write. But yeah, editing was the hard part, I reckon.
So, can you tell more about the editing and the publishing process?
Yeah, so my first step after completing my first draft was celebrating. But then after that, I reached out to a local editor and got it professionally edited, the whole thing, and then like went through edited it myself a second time just to fix it up.
Yeah.
And then after that, I approached a few traditional publishers because obviously like that's like the desired route for any writer. I had a few offers, but I don't know, I feel like our values didn't sort of align. So I decided to just self publish instead. And I feel like that was definitely the best decision that I made for myself. So yeah.
So you have self-published this book. Wow,
Yeah.
that's amazing.
Thank you.
So you spent how long did it take to, edit, the editing process took?
The editing process, I think the lady that I worked with took about maybe 2 months at the maximum to edit it. And then once she'd done her edit, I went through and like fixed it up as well, which took another month or so. And then because I wrote like a first draft, it was quite rough. I had to go
Yeah.
and like fix up pretty much every chapter. Because I started writing when I was 13, and when I finished, I was 16. So I'd obviously gotten a lot better. I had to change my sentences and everything. Yeah.
Can I just say that I love the way described each and every character on your Instagram page. Like
Thank
I was
you.
just scrolling through it, before starting with the reading the book, and
Yes.
I love the way you have, visualized it and everything. So it helped me so much while reading it because, like, I can tell that this person is like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
He or she looks like that. It helped so much. And even I finished it in, I think, about 2 or 3 hours.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
max. So it was
Awesome.
like really, easy going. Like I
Yes.
loved it.
Yeah. Oh, that's so good to hear. I'm glad that it helped on my page.
Yeah. So what is your, favorite place to read or write?
My favorite place to read is probably at the beach because, like, the ocean, like the
I
waves in the
agree.
background. I
I
love
agree.
that. But when I'm writing, I prefer to be like in full silence, alone, probably like here, like at my desk. That's definitely where I'm most productive.
Same.
Yeah.
Completely agree.
Yeah.
So, what is your favorite character from the book?
Oh. I'd have to say obviously the main character, Maddie, because I feel like when you're writing, you kind of go on the journey with the main character, and so she's kind of like a part of me, I guess. It was almost hard to stop writing the book because it was like I had to like let go of that character. But apart from her, I really like Stephanie Rivers, Jace's younger sister. She's quite
Yeah.
funny and very sassy, and I like that.
So you can relate to Maddie, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Like, that's
Like I
nice.
wouldn't say she's based off me, but we have quite a few similarities.
Nice. Even, I felt the same when you said that when you stopped writing, it was like, oh, it's just finished now. So
Yeah,
I felt even the same because I just finished it in a day, even less
yeah,
than that. So I was like, okay, now what should I do,
yeah. I
Um,
know.
so are you launching any sequel or anything? Probably. Are you
I've
working
had
on it?
quite a few people ask me about a sequel. I'm not sure if I mean, I might, but I'm not sure if I will because the way that this was written, it was quite like innocent and very like easygoing. I feel like my writing style has changed as I've gotten older. And because the book that I'm writing at the moment, which is unrelated, it's more of a fantasy adventure. It's definitely written a lot, probably more sophisticated. And so I'm not sure if I could really capture like the innocence of the first novel.
I agree. So, you mentioned that you're writing something currently. Can you share more about it?
Yeah, so I think I've done maybe one or two like postal stories about it.
Yeah, I have seen that.
I haven't chosen like a title or anything, but it's pretty much just because when I was younger, my dream was to write like a novel about like fantasy, involve fairies or elves or something like that. So it's sort of like the human world and like another fantasy realm involving heaps of like my favorite fantasy characters. And it's a girl named Lacey Beckett's and her best friend Endon Pryor. They sort of like get wrapped up in this like fantastical adventure and have to like save the world.
So, are you still writing it or you're done? Okay.
Yeah,
So,
I think I've got about 55,000 words so far, which is
oh,
yeah, I think Love Hurts, it's about 62,000 words. So you think that I'm like about done, but I'd say I'm more like two-thirds of the way through. I have quite a few chapters left to write. But yeah.
wow. I'm really excited about that now.
Oh, thank you.
Like when are you planning to, launching it? The new
Um, well, I was hoping by the end of high school, which would be by the end of next year, but I'm not sure because with the like my massive study load, because I do all the hard subjects, I have
I
to,
agree.
yeah, I have to prioritize schoolwork at the moment. So I haven't been writing much in these past like week or so, but over the holidays, I hope to get like quite a few chapters done.
That's great. So what are you currently reading?
Currently reading. Have you ever heard of the series Throne of Glass by Sarah J. Maas?
No, I haven't. I think
No.
I have heard maybe, but I'm not sure.
Oh, it's sort of like it's a fantasy. I love fantasy, but it's pretty much about like this assassin slash like future queen who has to like sort of find herself as a person, navigate her way through being an assassin. Yeah, it's really good. I didn't expect to like it, but it sort of involves like fantasy and stuff over time, and I really like that.
So, can you just send me the name and author name? I'll check it out.
Yeah, like now.
No, obviously
Oh,
after the.
okay, just checking.
Okay. So you like reading?
Yeah, definitely. Reading's like my favorite hobby.
Okay. So, if you could, recommend only one book to anyone, which book would it be?
Oh, I feel like if you haven't read Harry Potter, definitely Harry Potter series, but also the Sarah J. Maas series, Throne of Glass. It's like really eye opening.
Okay, I will check that out.
Awesome.
Um, okay, so as you mentioned that, you wrote everything at very young age and you even self-published it.
Yeah.
So what do you think the whole process, helped you as a person?
How do I think it helped me as a person?
Yeah.
I definitely believe it taught me time management and like devotion to like one thing because I've heard of so many writers who've tried to start writing a book and then they just like give up. Um, yeah, so it taught me to just sort of like if you're passionate about something, always stick to it, get it done, even if it can be hard at times. And it also taught me to like always be true to yourself because obviously people are going to tease you about like following your dreams, but like just do it because everyone's going to judge you anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
100%. So, have you, have any hidden secrets in the book that only few people can find, or any things or anything like that?
Like Easter eggs, sort of like in the book.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I guess there's one thing. It sort of only applies to like a few people, like at my school. So there's a classroom at my school, N36, and when I was in year 7 and 8, that was like my main classroom, and so everyone who was in my class would know that because I mentioned that classroom in the book because Maddie goes there for her first lesson, I think. And so I've had a few of my classmates text me and go, "Oh my god, you mentioned the classroom in the book," and I was like, "Yep."
Um, okay, so do you like can you like share more about your hobbies and stuff? Like what do you like to do besides reading and writing?
Besides reading and writing, uh, I play video games. Like I love video games, and also I've been at the moment I'm binge watching this show. Have you ever heard of Vampire Diaries?
Yeah.
Vampire Diaries. I love
I
Vampire Diaries.
I started watching it, but I think somewhere midway I just stopped. I don't know why. But
Yeah,
yeah.
I tried watching it a few years ago and I wasn't into it at all, but now I'm like addicted to it. So yeah, that's how I spend
It's
my free
a
time.
it's a kind of show that you can binge watch it.
Pardon?
You can binge watch it.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, because I've been like doing heaps of study, I haven't really had any time. But it's kind of like that's how I go on my breaks, like my study breaks. I just watch Vampire Diaries.
That's really nice. Okay, so I'm gonna, ask the audience that if they have any questions for you,
Okay.
because I'm sure, even I mentioned in the story that your journey and how you started at a very young age, it really
Yeah.
inspired me that to
Thank you.
begin writing. So, about me, I want to write, but I don't know what to write about. So it's like I'm in the middle there. So it really inspired me personally, actually.
Oh, that's so good. My advice to you is to write about something that you've got like heaps of knowledge on. So mine was sort of like social environments at a high school,
Yeah,
like all that stuff is pretty obviously new to. I mean, what do you call it? Familiar to me because I go to high school. So yeah, just find something that you know heaps about and know how to write about, and then it becomes a lot easier.
I'm gonna try.
Awesome.
I'm gonna do that. I even have, ideas that I want to write about this, but I don't know. I have never started actually. So I think I should just do it.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, just do like a whole bunch of planning beforehand and get like the idea
Yeah,
really clear in your head and then go for it. That's what I did.
yeah, I'm gonna do it.
Awesome.
Okay, well, I just got one more question. Like
Yep.
it just stuck in my mind that I've seen in your profile that you are also into poetry.
Yeah. Yeah.
So can you like share one of your poem or anything?
One of my poems. Okay.
Yeah.
I have like a poem book here. I'll just pull
Wow.
it out. I started like writing in this, I think, last year, but I haven't done much lately. Um, so this is the poem book. It's got like Shakespeare
It's
on it.
really pretty.
Um, I'll just try and find a decent one.
I'm sure it's really nice. Like I can
Oh,
tell by from the writing from the book that it's pretty good.
thank you. Let's try and find a good one. Okay, I'll just read this one out. I think I wrote this like a year ago, so it's one of my first ones. But, okay. Your skin is morning snow, cockroach flakes, a striking contrast with the ebony bowl that is your hair. I need not mention the midnight fire that burns behind your cheeks.
It's really nice. So what
Thank
do
you.
you like to write about? Like poetry, like anything, your
Poetry.
personal experience?
I think the easiest thing to write about, like for me with poetry, is about like love or heartbreak or anything like emotional connection, because obviously that's what that
Yeah.
book is about. Because obviously I like describing things, I'll describe like weather or nature or something. Yeah.
Really nice. I'm looking forward to your poetry book as well now I
Thank
came to
you.
know that you're writing it.
Yeah.
So I hope to see it soon.
Awesome. Thank you.
Okay. Um, I don't think that I have seen any questions. So thank you so much for doing this. First of all, I really
That's all
appreciate
good.
it.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
was nice
because I
talking to
know
you.
that you are going through your exams and
Yeah,
yeah, it's pretty late out there as well. So thank you so much for doing that.
that's okay. It was really nice. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Should I think that's it. I cannot see any questions. So
Yeah.
yeah, okay. Thank you so much. I wish you all the best, and
Thank
I'm
you.
gonna wait for two of your books now. So
Aw.
yeah.
I'll
Okay.
text
Thank you
you
so much.
about the Throne of Glass series after.
Yeah, yeah. Please do that.
I
Please.
will.
Okay. Okay. Bye. Take care.
Bye. Thank you.
Okay, guys. Thank you so much for joining in. I really appreciate it, and it was really fun interview. So I love talking to her. Thank you so much for joining in, and I'm gonna save this live on my IGTV, so you can check it out if you missed it.